I know, because like for you. I was like, oh, okay. I would guess a lot different. Fine. It is cool that you're not humid. It's pretty humid. Yeah.
Okay, I already gave extra credit to people who show up the first Friday, extra credit, and then the second one. If you didn't send me the email, you didn't get a credit. So if you're here and you didn't get your credit, send me an email. Same for today. If we don't have 15 people, we will give you extra credits. All right. Okay, so today is mostly project day, but a couple announcements first. For the teaching award funds, the $300 they said that I would get, and maybe I can spend on your posters. So I'm waiting for them. I contacted several people, like none of them know what's going on. They say it's probably COVID-19, and then they lost track of the recipients of the award and the funds. So right now I'm just waiting for them to get back to me, and I will let you guys know. All right. They sound kind of hesitant too, so just be prepared if they don't have the money for us. Don't be too disappointed. Okay, so for our exam 2, the average was 90, which is pretty good. It's a little bit lower than exam 1, 91.4. I don't know if you did better than the first one or you did worse. Some people did better, I think. So do you have any questions about the exam, about your score or the questions that you missed? I checked all the questions. So if I find a question item that no one got it right, I will definitely change that, but that's not the case here. Usually people get questions right.
I didn't see the questions that I missed.
You couldn't?
No. I haven't tried to check.
And you can't either?
I haven't tried.
Oh, you haven't, okay. Well, other people. Let me, when did you check it?
I don't really know. I think it was like once I noticed my grade was in there.
Okay.
Like yesterday.
Interesting. Because the way I said it is that you can check it after your grades
Okay,
posted.
I might have not just like clicked on the right thing. I was just doing it real fast.
Okay. If you checked it right after, you might not be able to see it. It's usually they wait for everyone to finish the exam, and then the grades are posted, then you can see it. Let me double check. For online students too, if you have any questions, you can let me know now or later, or if you have checked whether you can access to your exam, let me know. Yeah, you should be able to see it, but let me know if you can't sometimes.
We can see the score, but we can't see the questions.
Can you say that again? It's hold on. I'm gonna adjust the volume. Say that again.
We can see the score, but you can't see the questions.
What? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to change that. See, it says after attempts are graded, you're able to see your scores, your answers, the correct answers, and the answers you submitted. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Okay, maybe try again. I just changed the setting. It's not after submitted, it's after the due date, which is already passed. So let me know if you can see it. All right, so if you don't have any questions right now, you can ask me later if you have them. And we're starting part 3 of the course. Again, the class is not cumulative. So if you don't have any questions, we'll just throw all the stuff. You'll back off on mine. Don't need to worry about that. Okay, so for today's agenda, we're going to have you to work on your report drafting. The goal is to have your rough draft ready by the end of the class, and I'll be here if you have any questions. And after this, I encourage you to take it to the writing center to get their feedback. Sometimes I know in English classes, they might offer some extra credit if you go to the writing center. I don't know if I need to do that here. One is, this is actually helping your grade. So go to the writing center, it will help your grade, and I'm giving you bonus to do that. It just takes the motivation away. It's kind of weird. I'm rewarding you to help yourself. It's kind of weird. I might think about it, but do take it to the writing center. It's really helpful, and at the end, it will help your grade. So now it's gonna be project time. You can work together. If you're not here, if they're just online students, I don't know if your group mates are here. If they're not, you might need to talk to them. So Google Doc is a good way to work together if you're not here in person. And please ask questions. Again, don't wait until the end. It's less likely that I will get you the answers in time. Just ask them early. All right. If you finish your rough draft, I can even look over for you. I'll give you general feedback. But you have to ask. I can't just go to your group and ask individually, say, have you done this, or have you finished this, and let me look at it. You need to take initiative. All right, let's begin. Work on your stuff. I'll be here.
I think we just start out by like making an outline of all the time. Yeah, that sounds good.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt just for a little bit. I think I got a feedback from the early evaluation is that people are complaining, some people are not doing the work, or they don't want to go back and check the project or the assignment. That's not how group project works. So make sure you have someone that's assigned to look over the entire draft. For example, right now you're dividing, one person's writing the introduction, one is writing the methods, results, and then discussion. So everyone has something to do. But at the end, you can't just put them together and then submit it. You have to look at the whole thing and make sure it flows, make sure it's fluent. Everyone has very different writing style. And if you submit something that's like been pieced together, it's just not gonna work. Does that make sense? So after you finish your own part, make sure you look at the project as a whole. All right, go ahead.
Does someone limit the doc and I'll pull up?
I think Francis already did.
Riley asked a question. I saw that we need 8 citations throughout the paper does that mean we need 8 sources or 8 citations total of the sources we already gathered in the literature review phase? I don't really understand this because one source should have 1 citation. So if you have 8 sources, you have 8 citations. I don't really get what do you mean by, does that mean we need 8 sources or just 8 citations total for the sources? Yes, you need 8 sources, either for your introduction or your methods or your results. You will need some kind of literature to back it up. And 8 is it's like the minimum. If you have more, it would be great. Oh, I might know where you. Yeah, you can use the textbook. So I think I know what you mean by 8 citations and 8 sources. So you mean that the textbook can be 2 citations if you're quoting from different studies? Is that what you mean?
Hi, can I just unmute myself?
Okay.
So I was just wondering, if we could use a textbook at all.
Yeah,
You're saying like if we quote 2 different studies, those can be 2 separate citations.
they should be 2 different citations. Even if it's from the same book, but it's from different studies, you will quote the authors of that study and the study.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much.
no problem. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 12 people in the class so far. So more than half people didn't show up. If your group didn't show up, you're here by yourself. Can you let me know? I know you guys in the same group. You guys in the same group? Yeah. And do you have your teammates online? Okay,
Do
okay.
you just want to put your name next to a section, and then we can all just write?
All right.
'Cause there's
If you
five
don't
people.
have anyone to work with right now, let me know.
We best know somebody, you know?
Mhm.
Like it wouldn't make sense if someone that doesn't know stats to take the stats section.
Yeah, you know stats, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to do the results one?
Sure. The abstract only 2.5%.
What do you mean 2.5%?
It would make sense to have someone do 3.5% as they grade and someone do 40%.
Where does it say that it's 2.5%?
If you're in the,
I can do the final read through then.
okay.
I'll read through the entire thing and make sure it's okay.
Or you could just help someone else with their section too, because I mean, ideally we would all like read the whole thing. So
Yeah.
you could and then- The result is like the one staff heavy one, right?
I think so.
Okay.
And James knows science too.
I think so. I don't really know to what extent.
I'll do the title page too.
Okay.
Wait, which side of the paper?
What do you-
Everything just disappeared.
I just was walking out.
Well, no, it's now on the second page, so that's the title page.
Oh.
So Zach asked, do you need to send your draft tonight to me by tonight? No, you don't. This is just a date that I kind of give you as a guideline. If you finish your rough draft by today, you'll have more time to revise it and get a better grade at the end. But if you finish your rough draft like a week before you need to turn it in, you won't have much time to go over that or get feedback from the writing center or me. This is just a good time for you to finish it. But if you can't, just do it as soon as possible. You don't need to submit anything. For the remaining of the class, I think it's just the report, the poster, and one more exam, and some quizzes. You don't have any assignments left, so focus on that.
I think we should probably split up the introduction between at least 2 people because it's the largest part of the grade by far. And there's a lot of work into it.
Want me to give you some advice?
Yes.
So usually introduction is the hardest part of the writing. Same with online students, if you want to hear how we collaborate in group research. Usually we finish writing the methods and the result first because those are the most straightforward, the most easiest thing. Once you finish that, you will know what you find, and then it's easier for you to go back and finish your introduction and then your discussion. And introduction is the longest part, establish the whole paper. So usually whoever works on introduction, they will get, I want to say, first authorship, so they get more credit. For you guys, you don't really care about who's going first after. So my suggestion is to find a way to work on the methods and result first, and everyone take a look at that. For the people who's working in the introduction, they will have a better idea of what you have found. Otherwise, it'd be so disconnected, right? Someone who's working on the introduction doesn't know about the methods or don't remember the methods or the results. So it's not like a team project. It's not like I'm working on just this part. It's more like we all work together, and it's more efficient that way too. Makes everything like writing go faster too. So,
Okay.
Yep.
So instead of like splitting up all these sections, let's say like just start by focusing on the result.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
For our references, I think this was already asked before, but we need 8 different sources, or we just need to be a source cited 8 times?
You will need 8 different sources. It could be confusing. So when we say in-text citation, that's when you put parentheses in your text. References is at the end. If you have, let's say, 3 in-text citations, they're the same authors, same studies, but you're just referencing them in different places, you will only have 1 reference for that 1 citation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so what I want you to do is to have at least 8 different sources to make your research more evidence-based. Does that make sense?
And where's the bulk of that going to be? Like, that be mostly in the introduction or the methods, or?
You mean the citations? Yes, so that's when we do literature review, which is in the introduction section. You want to, for example, when you describe previous studies findings, you would need to cite that. That will be a source. Does that make sense? But when you write about your methods, you don't really need to cite unless you're getting the methods from a different study. And then you said we followed the protocol from the study, and then you cite that. If you come up with the experiment design, you don't really need to cite anything. You just describe what you did, and then at the end, for the results, you don't need to cite anything because it's just stats. And then after the results, it's a discussion. You might cite something, but it's mostly in the introduction.
Your insight is
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first one's going to be participants.
Okay.
The procedure. And overall organization. And yeah, that's it. But there's like more stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, overall organization is just saying that it should be organized.
Oh. You want to pick it
separate section, the top right is a separate section.
Right, I'm gonna just assign the extra credit to you guys now. Haley, Meredith, Vinay, Chaya, Garrett. All right. Haley Fraser.
Yes.
Okay, cool. We have, I think, 2 or 3 Haleys, so just making sure. What's your last name?
Sumner?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Do we have to say that information about it?
Yeah.
Like, does it say this thing specifically? Or just it says new people? Okay. So are you talking about the Google Doc you want us to go in and add?
Yeah, the original participants form that we used.
This
Everybody
right here?
assigned for groups, yeah.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So I see to the title page, we need a list of sections drafted by each student, but if we're splitting it up and working on multiple sections, then how would we write that down?
Oh, you can just write all the names. Let's say, you're asking if all of you are working on the introduction, how are you gonna put the names? Just put like introduction, whoever worked on it, put all the names.
So just put like introduction drafted by everybody's name,
Mhm.
discussion drafted by everybody's name.
If that's how it works in the group, yeah. And I'm not trying to rate them by authorship. It's more like for you guys to know who worked on what, and then if you look at the final draft, if there's questions, you know who to ask.
Okay.
Mhm. And also, it might be a good time to remember who did what, and then at the end there will be an evaluation. I'll ask each group member individually whether you think the group project was fair within the group. If multiple teammates said it wasn't fair, there will be different grades for each teammates according to the situation. But if everyone thinks it's fair, everyone will get the same grade. So that's kind of like the quick result of that. Yep. All right.
I'm going through the consent form and like searching everyone's name and if they did about the consent form, then I'm gonna delete their comments
Okay.
here because everything is doing.
Right.
We have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to just tell you about the Student Research Week. I mentioned it at the beginning of the semester. It's something that you can participate in with the research studies that we're doing in the class. It's not a very hard competition, but if you participate, you will work with other researchers, kind of improve your study design, and then you will need to have a poster, which you already have for this class. If you want to improve it, you can make a better poster and participate. You can put that in your CV. It will be very good for future references when you apply to jobs or grad schools. Also, if you win a award, you'll be able to put that in your CV too, and you can get monetary award, I think. I don't know about this year, but in past years, people usually get 200, 300, 500, depends on what you get for the competition. And you don't need to pay anything, so it's a good opportunity. If you're interested, let me know and I'll send you the link. And if you want to pursue further in research, like doing studies in social psychology, also feel free to contact me. You can participate in labs. There's just a lot of opportunities. All right, and we have about 4 minutes left. If you want to keep working, feel free to work here, and then once it's time, just feel free to leave. And All right, have a good weekend. All right, I'm gonna end the meeting. So if you have questions, let me know.